the way to understand is, are they better than you? That's where you start. As your organization grows, you now have to go outside of your organization, tap your peers, tap those that are further ahead of you in business.
Hi, my name's Devon. Today I own several multi-million-dollar companies. We started with $5,000 in a credit card. I don't know the easy way, I only know the hard way.
Hey everyone, welcome to the Whiteboard Entrepreneur, where I give straightforward advice for the entrepreneur in all of us. I'm Devon Dickinson, and today we want to talk about what good looks like within your organization. And this is a bit of a pet peeve of mine because I don't think I do it very well, but I'm learning this all the time. And this is, when you think about what good looks like in your organization, it's oftentimes difficult for us to assess because we kind of only really have ourselves to measure against as entrepreneurs, right? Because you probably started from the ground floor, bootstrapping it on your own. And so the only thing that you have to do is compare to yourself. So what someone taught me, a mentor of mine taught me a while back, is he said, here's what good looks like. If you're going to hire someone to do a job that you can't do, good must be better than what you can do. So let me say that again, and I'll try to put it in the terms he told me. He basically said, if you're going to hire someone to do a job that you could have done, they better do it better than you. Does that make sense? So, I'll give you an example. So if I'm going to hire a person to be someone in charge of marketing, I'm not a good marketer. That's not my skill set. I'm not very good at it. But when I hire that person for marketing, I'm going to pay them to do a job, right? If I look at that person and I go, I can do better than they can do, then that's not good, right? I need to get somebody better. Now, as your organization begins to develop, you can begin to benchmark against other professionals, right? As you become more well-rounded, you can begin to benchmark yourself versus other professionals. But this is true not only as for people that you hire, but it's also true for your vendors and people like that. So I'll tell you, I've worked with a lot of attorneys over the years, and, I've read through, contracts, and I've caught stuff in the contracts that the attorney hasn't caught. And I go, wait a second. If I'm paying you, why am I catching stuff that you're not catching? Therefore, you're fired. I'm getting another attorney. Okay. If you're, your real estate broker who's helping you negotiate a lease, and you look and you go, wait, why am I doing a better job negotiating this lease than my real estate guy? You need to fire that real estate person and get somebody better. Right? If the person who's, you hire to be your bookkeeper or your VP of finance or your CFO, if at any given time you find that you are better than they are at their job, that's not good. You need to get better. Right? And so as your organization grows, right, eventually you are going to find people who are better than you. And this one it becomes difficult, right? Because all of a sudden now you do have that VP of finance, and they are doing a remarkable better job than you because you can't even balance your checkbook, right? And so all of a sudden you're saying, well, geez, now I really have a hard time. Is this VP of finance, can this person take me to the next level of the CFO? And so what happens is this is where it becomes very difficult to say, and we become overly impressed with people who are just better than us at things that, well, they should be better than us. That's what they're paid to do. But are they good? Are they really good? Are they really going to be able to take you to the next level? And this is when you need to be able to go to peers and people within, not necessarily your industry, but you need to begin to develop a peer group so you can say, hey, tell me about what your CFO does. Tell me about how your CFO helps you, right? And then all of a sudden you can start to compare and contrast and say, well, geez, my CFO can't do that. My CFO simply closes out the books. And they say, well, that's a controller, not a CFO. Why are you paying them like a CFO? Because your CFO should help you with strategy. Your CFO should have an operational mind. Your CFO should be able to find areas of opportunity, right? And so when you have to then, when they get to be so much better than you, the only way to do it is to look outside of your organizations and to your peer groups. And so I would highly encourage you, as you go to those next levels, you have to also level up in your peer group. right? So you have to talk to people who are further along than you, not necessarily in your industry, but professionally, so that you can say, hey, what does a good CFO look like compared to a bad CFO? Because to me, a good CFO could just be someone that closes your books, right? But that person who's gone further along said, oh, you know what? Listen, I used to think that too. But then I hired, person X, and that CFO did all of this for me. And you go, well, geez, I'm paying this person like a CFO, but I'm not getting that out of them, right? Or, hey, my CMO of marketing, runs this entire program, and, they basically present this to me every single month, and our SQLs have gone up from, 10 to 1,000, right? And it's been their vision, and they're not just simply, creating, neat little logos, but they're driving a full-blown marketing plan. And all of a sudden you're going, well, geez, my CMO is simply, a graphic artist, was the first person I hired in marketing, right? And they're better at it than me. And so it's important, like I said, in the beginning, the way to understand is, are they better than you? That's where you start. As your organization grows, you now have to go outside of your organization, tap your peers, tap those that are further ahead of you in business, and ask them, what should I expect out of my CMO? What should I expect out of a VP of finance? What should I expect out of my HR department? I would tell you, I never had those type of people to go to, right? And so I never knew what my expectations were. Eventually, as my peer group started to get bigger, I started to find out, I was like, wait a second, your HR director does what? You mean I shouldn't have to be talking to the attorneys? The HR guy or HR gal and the HR guy talk to the attorneys, and then they bring me the solution? Well, that would be great, Or wait a second, your HR person negotiates out all of your healthcare contracts, and they bring you two to decide on at the end? Well, that'd be wonderful, right? I didn't know that, right? Until people were telling me, no, this is what my HR director does. This is what my VP of HR does. And all of a sudden I'm going, oh my gosh, I have been calling something good that was not good. It was just good compared to what I knew. And so as your company develops, you have to level up. And the only way to know leveling up is to look to your peer group, look to those who have gone further in business than you, and pick their brain. And those are the questions that you need to be asking. That's what you need to be getting out of them. Like I said, it blew my mind that my HR director would handle all of the interactions with the attorneys, handle all the interactions with the healthcare stuff, and literally just bring this to me. I was like, if they, and on top of that, all of the people issues, if they took all that off my plate at that time, it would have been like literally 35-40% of my job. It had never occurred to me that that's what this person should be doing at that level, and that is what good looks like. I didn't know what it looked like, so I allowed good, instead of being up here, to be down here. And so it still ended up on my plate. One of the best conversations I ever had was when someone said, Devon, if you have an HR director, that's what an HR director does. Guess what? I went in there, kind of shuffled some stuff around. I didn't even have to fire any people. I just changed some titles. I brought in a true HR director. My life literally got 30% easier overnight once I understood what good was. But you don't know what it is because you don't have anything compare it against, right? So again, the way I would think about it, from the beginning is, from the very beginning, when you pay someone to do a job, they have to do it better than you. After that, after your organization grows, the only way to really understand what good is, if they're already better than you, but they're, your company's kind of grown and you don't know, is you have to go outside to your peer group. You have to get outside perspective as to what good looks like from others in those particular titles and those particular positions. I'm Devon. This is Whiteboard Entrepreneur. Take a quick moment and hit that subscribe button for more content.